as you can see, this is kind of a graphical representation of our timeline. When we started back with the Disney Concert Hall, and we slowly started to progress. There's a couple of major jumps in there. One was when we started using, really found a lot of uses for doing 4D.
So what you see here on the right now, this is a compilation of a number of different 4Ds in Syncro from some of the different partners on this project. You can see coming up here the bridge work that's being done by one of the contractors has been brought into this overall model. Our project is the compilation of two previous prime contracts, one which is the 5-story podium work here, and then the replacement of some towers that supported the existing tent roof here, and then the hotel that sits on top of this project. So what we've done is compiled all those together for the customer. And we're using this for a lot of different uses. You can see we've broken every single concrete pour up in here, so we're using that to plan our self-performed concrete work. We're vetting our schedule between all of these different contracts and how they mesh together. Obviously, this is a major challenge. It's very difficult to understand on paper, and so this is an obvious solution for 4D. And it's really helping us identify pinch points. So this project is set down in a 60 or 80-foot deep canyon here. So these roads are elevated by 60 or 80 feet. So this is a giant slope, and the only access going into the site is under these bridges or down through this little narrow valley here once this light rail extension starts. And so we've used this to coordinate how we're getting materials into the site. We've used it to help locate where our cranes will go, what types of cranes go in here, and so on. So one of the things that we really realized as we got into this deeper, and I'll point out here, the team has done a nice job of using the grow function here. You can see on the enclosure, and I like what they did here with listing the floor levels and the grid lines to kind of get a nice perspective of where you are on the project. We realized at this point right here is going to be a major pinch point. So what we wanted to do was dig down deeper, so we've done what we call kind of a mini 4D. You can see this is kind of the future of one of the uses for 4D in Mortenson is using mini or micro 4Ds. So we dove down into this particular area on the project a little bit deeper, and we put in more detail with our equipment, with our cranes, with our man and material hoists that go out here. You can see now we've started to put in scaffolding and shoring for our false work to show how access might be changed into the site here. We're trying to locate where our concrete pumps would be for concrete placements. We'll show access routes for concrete trucks coming in here. One of the major challenges here is that we've got a major piece of steel set here, and if you're a general contractor, you looked at that and just said, wow, that was pretty interesting how that just showed up in one block. What we need to do, obviously, still is work on the exact sequence of how that goes in with shoring towers and where those will be placed here and where we can lay down steel in that process. But this is a very, very interesting project. Our customer is using this a lot in communicating with the various contractors on the site and in marketing. And our superintendents have taken this and are using it on a daily basis in the field, and they're taking out their iPads and tablets and they're showing it to the workers in the field. So this has been invaluable to us to help understand this very complex construction process in this project.
Another project here is a Civil Cross Hospital in New Lenox, Illinois. It's a 580,000 square feet hospital. It's a new campus, so it's a greenfield. And the project started in 2008 when we experienced the big downturn of the economy. The owner at the time had a very hard time securing the credit lines. The banks were absolutely not lending any money to anyone. So we had a hard time starting the project. Because of the delay, the owner finally at the time when the banks were allowing for the money to flow, the owner was concerned, oh, now we lost several months of work, how are we going to recover from it? And we decided to present in a 4D form not only the regular construction activities, but also the MEP coordination and installation systems. What you see on the left side is kind of a yellow block type of animation presenting what we're going to be coordinating at what time, when we're going to be installing the systems, and what's happening with the actual construction during the same time. The challenge was that we had 580,000 square feet to coordinate in 7 months, and the owner was very concerned. This is a hospital, very complex system, minimum spaces, multiple systems, and nobody really believed that we can do it. But the 4D model showed that we have a plan in place, that we understand what we have to do to make it happen, that we're not going to put the coordination in a critical path, and everybody at the end of the day will have a complete project on time. In fact, we actually finished project 2 months ahead of time, so the owner was very happy. They were able to practice with the facility before they opened. and it was very successful project.
One of the big lessons, and I'm sure most of you who've done a 4D model have probably learned this lesson as well, is to keep the geometrical part of the model as simple as possible. Only bring into Syncro what you need to show. The larger your model, the more details, the more time it takes to put it together, and the more conflict you can have with playing the animation and everything else. As you put together your model, you got to think about how you're going to link what to which task, and that's also important with the resources. For the grow function, if you have a large number of parts that you want to show growing at the same time, you can't bring them in separately and show them grow, or they all grow separately. You have to bring them in as one resource in one chunk, and then apply it to the auto matching, which if you set your model up right and work with the scheduler, it's a pretty easy task of bringing your model and your schedule together at once and click the auto match function, set up the script, and then it'll link your model up rather quickly, and it saves a lot of time on the process.
Hopefully next year we'll be able to present some good case studies that shows how it works.
I think that's our presentation for today. Thank you.